Before we even get into this video, before I even let these damn credits roll, I have to say, D. Smith, bitch, you fucking tried it this episode, damn it. We gonna get back to this bitch. I'm gonna go ahead and let these credits roll now, but we gonna get back to this shit. Go ahead and let them shits roll. What's going on YouTube?
Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy, Jamar here once again. Okay, have the credits rolled yet? Okay, now we back. Welcome, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Jamar here. Y'all know the whole spiel, but let's get on to this bitch. Damn it, D. Smith. Oh, wow. Bitch, girl. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Is you ready? Because this episode, I know, didn't I say last week was the petty episode? This bitch D. Smith took it to a whole new level of petty. Okay, so y'all know what I'm thinking. Y'all know what part of the episode I'm thinking about. Okay, so Arian starts out the episode. She says she wants to start her singing career. I vaguely remember her doing a show for, I guess it was for Cambridge, and I remember thinking to myself, Self, she can actually hold a tune. I can't remember how she sounded, but I remember thinking to myself, she can actually hold a tune. So she wants to meet with D. Smith to get her, because she was a respectable producer, whatnot. Okay. So she meets with her and Betty Idol, and I swear to God, I cannot stand it when Betty Idol gets on screen. Even worse when she opens her mouth, because she has the most annoying voice on television. I don't care. I dare you to name somebody on any television screen ever that has a more annoying voice than someone who talks like this every time she gets on the screen. I'm just like, God, it's, ooh, blessed be the children. But anyway, secondly, I mean, I know it's the studio. I know people may not look their best in the studio, but why did it look like D. Smith got mauled by a lion the way that her whole head situation was set up? I was like, girl, you on live television, bitch. Usually the cast of Love and Hip Hop be beat. You ain't beat. Not in the good way, anyways. You, girl. Shit, even better. I was looking better than you, honey. And y'all know. So anyways, Deb meets with Tammy and Bambi, right? So Bambi is going off about how, what happened at K. Michelle's little situation. And she was like, D. Smith can say all this stuff about me, but the minute I'm going to say something back at her about her being transgender, I'm going to be the big villain. Everybody going to look at me crazy, which is, in a way, is unfair because especially if D. Smith tried to come at her first, which she did, she called her a mammal, a four-legged mammal that gallops through the forest. Yes, she did. She did call her that. And so, I mean, look, bitch, if you go come at me on a personal note, you best be ready to take that shit right the fuck back, transgender or not, okay? There is no way you gonna sit there and come up at me and talk about my mouth, my face, and my gums when you sitting over there with a wig on, but still trying to have, a full, you know what? I didn't even want to go there with D. Smith today on that note because, of course, I have no problem with transgender people, but I can just imagine if a bitch tries to come at me the wrong way, and you sitting over here going through what you're going through, and you trying to come at me on a personal note, girl, you cannot be the one to talk right now. I'm just saying. So, Deb wanted to be the professional, even though her, what's that relationship called? Stepdaughter? Not stepdaughter. Daughter-in-law. That's what I meant to say. Even though her daughter-in-law get into it with this person, she was like, she still comes from a background, of course, despite the shady things that D. Smith had done, she does come from a background of going through transgender issues And Deb wants to put this panel together for this no RIP that she started. I believe was it the last season or the season before last? I can't remember, when her son committed suicide for the things they were saying about him online, and she called the no RIP, no reckless internet posting. So she wants to come together with a panel of people to discuss bullying and how to stop it and how to deal with it, bring people together to share their stories, testimonies, okay, whatever. Good cause, great idea. And she wanted to include D. Smith because D. Smith does have valuable life experiences that she can share to help other people. Right? Good theory. She meets with D. Smith in her, what I presume is her office or a conference room or what have you. D. Smith, sis, I could tell that Deb tried. She tried to keep, her shit together. But it started off cool. It really did start off well because she, was saying that, I'm honored for the cause. I respect Deb as a, woman in the industry. Oh, Lord have mercy. Ooh, child. I hope y'all didn't just get a heart attack. My phone just fell. Anyways, she was saying how much she respected her in the industry. And the conversation just started going left because of, they started mentioning how Tammy, them had that whole dispute. And she tried to say Tammy was like a Tasmanian devil and looking crazy and all this other stuff. And then Miss Deb was like, hold up, bitch. Wait a minute. What did you call Tammy? She was like, the Tasmanian devil. Now Deb was like, okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bitch. She tried to say it a nice way. I feel like how Betty Idol went and attacked Tammy and said the things that she said is a reflection of you and probably how you feel in the company that you keep. Okay? But then she was like, you can't, she's like, you can't judge Tammy for what Waka thinks and how Waka feels because Waka is his own person. And expect me not to be able to judge you for how Betty Idol did. And she was like, no, cute try, but that's not going to work. Deb was like, cute. Somebody get this bitch. Somebody get this bitch for I tear her damn throat out. I could tell that Deb Epney was trying to be like, I know she had to do a quick woo-saw. She probably turned the cameraman. Turn it off. Hold up. Give me a cigarette. I know this bitch is not just trying me. You can tell that she was not here for it. They turned the camera back on and she was like, I'm so disappointed in you. I thought you were going to be a respectable woman. I thought you were going to be this, that, and the fourth. And Deb was like, look, I thought I could come to you. I thought you could be a respectable person to have on this panel because of your life experience. But I see that you're now full of shit and we just not going to get along. And then still, D. Smith walked out still with that shaggy hair. Listen, y'all saw she was looking busted in the studio, right? It seemed like she just attached a Wilma Flintstone weave piece to her head and still forgot to put a hot comb to it. Like, it looked like she just got mauled by a lion. Like, what? Why? Why are we giving this tease for live television? Anyway. So they had that whole debacle. Now, Arian wants Mimi to meet D. Smith because she's excited that she's going to help her do this music career thing, right? And she brings Betty Idol with her. Now, I forgot that Tammy and Mimi were cool. So she's, Mimi kind of rolled her eyes when Betty Idol came, which any self-respecting human being would do when Betty Idol's into a room. I know I'd be sitting up here just like, when this bitch about to get her ready to say her line on TV. I can't take her. There's the way that she talks. Anyways. When D. Smith was recalling the conversation that she was having with Miss Deb Atney, she was she was saying how, I was so disappointed in her and, how she came up. She was like, I tried to come and I was being excited about her event, But she came, she started talking about Walker, and every time I say something, she respond with like, "What did my son do to you?" I was like, "Yo, I wish there was a cam on my face when my jaw went to the center of the earth. Like, what happened to all those hormones, bitch? Where did they go? Everything. I swear it was like she hadn't been taking any estrogen pills at all. Like, she went in the bowels of her diaphragm and what was left of her Adam's apple to bring out that sentence. And that was shady and wanted to include that. Oh my God. See, I tell me, I want y'all to write down in the comments, what was your reaction when that voice came out? Because I was just like, wow. And then, so basically, you saying Deb Atney sounds like a man. We're not going to sit here and lie like Deb Atney doesn't have a deep voice, a raspy voice, probably from smoking. But you fucking tried it, bitch. Girl. Now, y'all know D. Smith don't, not D. Smith, child. Deb Atney don't play. So if D. Smith end up missing after this reunion, because y'all know we're going to bring this up. Y'all know they better bring this up. Because, ooh. But let me know in the comments how y'all felt when that thing came up. I was just like, oh, girl. She's going to die. She got to die. She gotta die. So they get to this actual panel where she doing this discussion, and everything is wholehearted. People come up there, give their testimonies about being transgender and being bullied, being gay in the black church, all different things that those of us who are in the LGBT community understand how that goes. So D. Smith comes in with still her dry wig, and her and Betty Idol walk in and sit down, and they perch, and they look, and they smirk. I'm like, okay. So you could tell the energy. Deb was over it. Tammy was over it. And we're just like, okay. I'm going to keep it cute as long as this bitch keeps it cute. So they go through the whole spiel, and they say, well, we're going to have time to open the floor for questions. D. Smith was like, excuse me, pardon me, I have a question. Yes, I do. Or I have something to say. So I was just like, here we go. What's she about to do? And she started off, okay. I was like, all right, I'm with you for right now. She talked about how, even at a young age, I always felt like I was different. My mom didn't understand it. And, it was hard to, discuss about me being transgender, this, that, and the fourth. Now, this is where I kind of got confused, or maybe I missed something. Did D. Smith say how old she was when she realized or tried to come out as transgender to her family? Because Tammy responded, well, there goes my daughter over there. She's, all of 10 years old. She doesn't really know fully about sexuality, and it would be hard as a parent to have a discussion about transgender, with somebody who doesn't even understand sexuality yet. And I will give D. Smith this. Transgenderness, or the state of being transgender, really doesn't have anything to do with sexuality. And I figured that out about 3 years ago. A good friend of mine who's a male to female transgender was a host or doing a panel discussions at this female to male transgender conference. So there were a lot of transgendered men in there. And I don't know if I've spoken about this before, but it was a very confusing place to be in, because if I didn't know any better, if I wasn't aware that I was at a female to male transgendered convention, I would have thought these were regular men on the street, and I felt even more conflicted because I was attracted to them. It was a very strange time. Very strange time. But I knew that there was a separation between transgendered and sexuality, because I came across one of the transgendered men who said that yes, you know, he was transgender man, but he still is only attracted to men. So she, you know, they were once a female, they were born female, transgender to a male, but they're still only like males. They're not transgendering to a man that likes women. They're transgendering to a man that still likes men. So I was like, that is a combination I've never heard of before. So does that make her a gay man? Because if you're identifying in your mind as a male, even though you're natively born female, you identify in your head, okay, I'm actually a male, and you only are attracted to male sexually. Does that mean that you identify as a gay man? Or if you're a native-born female, does that make you heterosexual? That's a really gray area when it comes to the transgender part, that separation between the two. So I'd be interested to know if that person, I didn't think to ask them at the time, but I didn't know if that person considered themselves a gay man. That's an interesting question. Anybody that can answer that for me, leave that below. But she started off very well. And somehow the conversation went to Waka and his comments. And Tammy was basically saying, yes, you know, we are one. And she was, you know, D. Smith was trying to say, well, if you and your husband, you are one. You must, if he says one thing, you must think the same thing. And Tammy tried to reiterate to her once again, Waka has his own opinion. And it's not like he said, transgender people are dirty, I don't want them, fuck them, they're ugly. He didn't say any of that. He just said that he doesn't necessarily agree with the lifestyle, but do what you do. Okay? And he is allowed to have that opinion. He is. So, and just because he has that opinion doesn't mean that Tammy has that opinion. And she said, if me and him were as one as you said, he wouldn't have done a lot of the things that he did to me in our relationship. So, really a lot of things, really D. Smith's whole logic on Tammy having any fault in this really had no footing and made no sense. Excuse me. So, that whole LGBT thing, the panel, it was a hot mess. They had her escorted out with her and her dry ass wig, her and Betty Idle, and her annoying voice. And everybody else is just looking around confused and bewildered. I'm just like, that was a mess. That was a hot mess. And D. Smith, you fucking tried it. You tried Deb Atney to the heavens with that, what did my son do to you? I was like, oh my God. So that was the bulk of the episode. At least to me anyway. Side parts. I'm confused with Mimi Faust because this whole Jocelyn thing with, oh, he has 2 extra babies and all walking around and he's lied and all this other stuff. She's so adamant to try to confront Stevie about him having children. I'm like, why are you mad though? Why? You're not together. He's not with Jocelyn. Why do you care if he has a baby going? Like, is it taking money from your child support checks? Is that what you're worried about? Because if your money's not going to be affected, I wouldn't personally give a fuck about if he has other children walking around or not. I mean, it would be nice to know as a friend, but I'm not going to confront you like the way that she is. Like, what? That threw me. I'm like, Mimi, what is your connection to these extra children that you feel the need to be upset? I didn't understand. But then Stevie says that Jocelyn is crazy. Speaking of, it had came out, was it today? Yesterday, I believe. That there was video of Stevie J saying basically that what Jocelyn was saying in a previous interview, saying that he hadn't had a hit in 20 years and he's a hoe and this, that, and the fourth. And he responded and was like, well, only hoes sell pussy, so what does that make you? And I have the #1 song in the country right now. I'm gonna need a receipt for that because I find no validity in that statement. But the kicker was that he said, "I'm not your husband. I never was, and I never will be." I was like, "Oh, okay." We knew that though, because I mean, who really believed that they were really married? Because when they first got married and people tried to ask them when did they get married, she was like somewhere around June, July, August, September, October, November, somewhere in there. Like, what? And then when they tried to bring out the marriage license that episode, she was like, "Oh, I don't have it with me." So, I mean, we knew that, but it was just kind of funny to hear him actually say it. So, yeah, that was in messy in the new entertainment news recently. So he's saying that she's crazy, and he shows her video of all his stuff bleached, I guess. Okay. So somebody lying. Now, next week we get to see one of the chicks who allegedly has one of Stevie J's babies, and her and Mimi and Stevie go over to see her house to go see her, and I guess they're gonna take a maternity test, and we're gonna see how that goes. That should be interesting. Where are we? Is there anything else? No, I don't think so. I was just really confused about why Mimi cared so much. I guess, I don't know. I can't tell. Y'all let me know in the comments below. Why do y'all think Mimi cares so much? Because I'm confused by it. So, lastly, in the somber side of the episode, we had to watch Scrap, have his photos shoot with his son, and have to break the news to his son that he wasn't going to be there, and they were crying, and it is sad that he has to leave his son for 5 years and miss those years of his son's life. But at the same time, Scrap, you kind of did this to yourself, because I mean, if you weren't doing the whole trafficking of the marijuana, you wouldn't be in this situation. So, I mean, it's unfortunate for the son to not have a father around, but he kind of did it to himself, though. And why does KK still carry around this black dog? It just be throwing me off. She'd be in that confessional with a different wig, but still with this same dog. Like, why does the dog have to be a part of the confessional? I don't understand it. It was sad, and they had to get together. He cut his hair off. Now I'll mind you that he looked 10 times better with his hair cut off. I don't know what it was. Something about that hair made him look like really, really hippie. But when he cut it off, he kind of looked like nice little young man. And him and his brother, they had the little moment, and then all the family were coming around, and just praying that he makes it through, and they makes with his son, and just, it was a touching moment. It's unfortunate, but let this be an example to everyone who does the things that he does. It's not gonna work out in your favor. Just don't be stupid, basically. Just don't be stupid, and you'll be fine. But that was mainly the episode, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all thought about the topics that we discussed here on today. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.